I'm not saying I'm brilliant or anything like that, but I woke up many years ago. You know, the whole 2000 saga, or 2001 saga with 9/11 and, you know, the Iraq invasion. I was travelling at that point. I flew on September 11, 2001. I was sitting in a airport in Bangkok and watched the planes fly into a building, and then I literally had to jump on a plane and fly to Frankfurt, Germany. And then didn't know what was going on. We got there and basically the world had changed at that point. That is where I'm hiking to today, that little inlet. So this is the east coast here of Australia, the far east coast, and going down that way is south towards Wollongong, and then if you head all the way down towards Victoria, and up this way is heading up to Sydney, and then obviously all the way up to Queensland. Alright, so there's the inlet. We've hiked there, but this is not where I'm going today. I'm going a bit further inland. That is the Australian cicada. Sort of a bit of a haunting sound, but feels like home to me. So this is the Australian summer, and this is when you get a high volume of snake activity here, because they're cold-blooded animals, or cold-blooded reptiles, and they'll come out to warm themselves up in the morning. Check out this old cave. This, I would imagine, would have been a perfect campground for Aboriginal fellas back in the day. And this is where our destination from my first stop today is leading me to. Imagine this would have been the perfect spot for Aboriginal brothers and sisters. Stop number one. Beautiful waterhole. Which I'll probably go for a swim. These guys are everywhere around here. And they get in the water and they swim. So I've hiked over to another headland now. This is Karakarong. And down there is the headland and the ocean. I'm going to walk upstream here and see what I can find. Hopefully find a nice little cool place, and then I can pop down and make the video I want to make for the opening part of this new YouTube channel, an introduction to me. Hey guys, Jason here. So it is January 1st, 2025, and this is the inaugural, very first video from Trading the System. So this will be basically just an introductory video to me and why I've created this channel. So first of all, I'm Jason. I'm a 52-year-old male who lives in just out of Sydney, Australia. So I've come along today, the 1st of Jan, because this year, 2025, I want to make some significant changes on how I go about things in my life. A lot of you have probably felt over the last few years the world has changed quite drastically. Here in Australia, it's got out of control. The government seem to be more turning down a totalitarian, authoritarian route. The cost of living here in Australia now is just out of control. It's ridiculous, and I can't see it changing anytime soon. We've got AI starting to come in, and over the next 5 years I think that's going to wipe out a lot of jobs. And there's going to be a whole useless class created that'll just be useless, basically won't be able to do anything. So I've for the last 15 years I've run my own business, and you know, it was pretty tough to get it all set up, and over the last maybe 18 months it's just started to pit away. People just don't have the money to spend. It's in the telecommunications sector, you know, and I just feel too now that just everything is just, the prices of everything's gone up, and so we've had to continuously raise our prices to try and, you know, compete just to stay alive. And so why I've sort of creating this channel is because I want to create an out. So it's called Trading the System, and basically it's a double entendre. I want to trade in the system that I currently live under. So like here in Australia, you know, you can't, there's a law for everything. You know, you can't sneeze without getting a ticket for something here these days. It's absolutely out of control. You know, they've just tried to push through some misinformation, disinformation bill here in Australia that just would have, you know, devastated free speech. And they've managed to push through a kids' social media ban, so banning kids 16 and under from using any form of social media. But this is also, you know, a Trojan horse for bringing in a digital ID system, because of the under 16 bill. Basically everyone has to prove their age, and to do that it looks like it's going to be a form of digital ID. And so I just see Australia just going down the wrong pathway. And you know, throughout COVID and stuff, we had some of the most harshest lockdowns in the world here, and I just see it going in the wrong direction, and I don't think it's going to get any better, you know. And most people that I find in Australia here, they have their head in the sand. Like they don't really, they don't see the gravity of it. You know, Australians are, most people here, we have a tall poppy syndrome thing, and you know, anyone that sticks their head above the pulpit, they chop it off, you know, bring everyone back down to the same level, which is sort of like a communist type of, you know, credo. You know, keep everybody the same. Nobody's above anybody else. And so you've sort of found that through the whole COVID thing, and it did for me. It sort of really was standout that, you know, nobody questioned anything. You know, everybody was just like going along to get along, and they just didn't question the narratives that were put in front of them. And for me, it was quite obvious. You know, I'm not saying I'm brilliant or anything like that, but I woke up many years ago. You know, the whole 2000 saga, or 2001 saga with 9/11 and, you know, the Iraq invasion. I was travelling at that point. I flew on September 11, 2001. I was sitting in a airport in Bangkok and watched the planes fly into a building, and then I literally had to jump on a plane and fly to Frankfurt, Germany, and then didn't know what was going on. We got there and basically the world had changed at that point. And so that sort of opened my eyes up to a lot of things, you know, and I started looking into stuff and then basically turned off the television after that period, you know, probably about 2003, 2004. I just basically stopped watching TV and getting any information from mainstream, and just started looking into things myself. So when COVID happened, it was just so obvious to me that this was just a bunch of bullshit, you know, like the way that they were talking to us as like little children and not giving us opportunities or chances to sort of do things the way that we thought we should have been doing them as adults. And basically the governments here were just out of control. Like you would have seen some of the videos, the way that the police were just brutalising people here in Australia, and the way the governments would talk to us. You know, we had politicians talking to us like we're little children, you know, like who are these people, you know what I mean? So, it brings me back to why I'm making this channel. So, I also, around the COVID, just before, well, probably 2016, 2017, I started following the crypto markets. I started watching cryptocurrency. I didn't buy into it then, but I was just interested in it. Just something was like, okay, Bitcoin, what's all this about? You know, and I'd heard of it before, but I didn't really look at it, you know, and I watched the 2016-17 bull run, and I was like, holy crap, you know, this is amazing. And then COVID happened, and then just before the COVID period, I started getting into a bit of Bitcoin. Started getting into some cryptocurrencies, and yeah, and it was just amazing. Like once I understood the concept of 21 million Bitcoin, and that's all they're ever going to be, it blew my mind, because a long time ago I sort of found out all about fractional reserve currencies, and you know how the banks basically create money out of debt and all that type of stuff. And then just through COVID, how much money they printed, and like how, you know, now inflation in Australia is out of control, and you know, and I have never bought a house, right? So I've always liked to keep a certain freedom. Like I've travelled lots of countries, like probably 35 countries in my life. So I've never really wanted to get tied down. I'm sort of that type of a guy, you know. And so now that here in Australia, lots of businesses are failing, right? It's happening daily. And I've got friends who are even tradies, you know, because they're just not building houses at the moment. Like, the immigration here is out of control, and they're not building houses, and the housing market here is just overinflated, and the government doesn't want to do anything about it. They don't want to build more houses because they don't want to bring down the cost of the houses, because, you know, here in Australia, that's the biggest investment. People just invest in land and houses here in Australia, and that's their thing, right? So the property market is pretty much screwed, and I can't see it changing. I don't know how they're going to dig themselves out of this hole. So I know I'm just babbling on about lots of stuff. I'm not new to making YouTube videos, but I've never done ones where I've stuck my mug on there before. I've had one for my business, and that's been quite successful, brought me in lots of clients over the years, but that was basically documenting telecommunications issues and stuff like that in that field, and we had thousands of subs and millions of views and stuff like that. And then also I'm a musician, so I write songs, written with some, you know, pretty well-known songwriters. Some of the songs I've written with other people have been on albums that have won awards and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to blow my own chain, but music is the thing that I love to do when I'm not doing work or other things. That's my passion in life, music. And so Yeah, I know I'm going all over the place here. But what I was talking about with the crypto thing and what I want to do with this channel is I'm going to get out of Australia. So I'm giving myself 12 months. So we're sort of halfway through the it's 2025 now, January 1st. And I'd say probably by October, November, the bull run is going to finish. And I've got, a decent amount invested in this bull run. But I've also at the same time have started a trading course, a cryptocurrency trading course. And so the plan is to get out of this place and to go and find somewhere around the world that's a bit cheaper to live and has more freedoms. Now I've lived because I'm in Australia, Southeast Asia is a pretty viable option for me. It's not too far away. I've still got my mum and my dad are still alive here, and I've got brothers and sisters and friends and stuff, and I don't want to be too far away just in case something happens that I can sort of come back to Australia, within 9 hours or whatever. I don't want to be like, way too remote. But somewhere in Southeast Asia probably for the next few years, because I just anticipate something bad's going to happen. I think the markets themselves, I think it's good that Trump's got in, because I think things will change in a way where, hopefully they'll pull back on wars and, actually have an adult in the room to sort of make some good spending choices and stuff. And, and I think that'll do good for the markets, right? But on the same time, I think they've screwed it up so badly over the last, since 2008 when they had the financial crash. They didn't change anything. The banking system, no one went to jail. I think there was one guy that went to jail, and then the banks just went back to doing exactly the same thing they always did, and so now they're back in this other situation now where, every country's in so much debt. Like Australia's in like almost $1 trillion worth of debt. The US, I don't know how many trillions they're in, but the system, the current system is failing. And I don't want to be around when it collapses, because it's going to happen and it's just a matter of when. So for me, there's going to be a few pillars, One will be not being in Australia, not being in Sydney, because Sydney now is the second most expensive city in the world. So you got Hong Kong and then you got Sydney. Price of houses here and food and everything is just ridiculous. Most of my friends and most people I know, they're not living, they're surviving at the moment. The banks have thrown the interest rates up so high now that, people are struggling to pay their mortgages. So I want to go somewhere where I can actually have a life. So the idea is to learn how to trade crypto and be able to do it when the market's going up and when the market's going down. And somewhere like I've lived in Indonesia before, and the quality of life there was just amazing. I lived there, I took over my girlfriend at the time, and I think we spent in one place, it was like 2 months. I had like a maid. We had like, a beautiful villa right on a pool. Wake up, dive into the pool, and that was including breakfast and dinners. And it cost me about 2,500 Australian dollars. That was including a brand new motorbike that I had to use for those 2 months. And then I stayed, I ended up staying there 6 months. But we moved around in a few different spots. But that's just basically, that was a few years back now. But just going to show that in Australia here, that would cost you ridiculous amounts of money to do. So I've had that lifestyle before. I've travelled through Thailand a few times. I've been to Japan. I've been to some of these other countries. But I'm thinking somewhere in Southeast Asia, right? So the idea of trading the system is basically, firstly, finding a way to make an income, right? Because my business here in Australia requires me to sort of be here and sort of, I'm the brain power of the business, right? Because it's basically a fault finding thing, like really complicated telecommunications issues, and I sort of work them out and, get paid quite well for fixing them up. But I'm just getting a bit over it. Like I said, I'm 52, and I want to free myself up now. I don't want to be that retire at 67 type of guy, live another 15, 20 years and then end up in a fucking hole in the ground, after this year, I'm giving myself this 12 months to really get my shit together and enjoy life, So, yeah, the plan is sort of start tying things up here in Australia over the next 12 months, get really good at this trading. So the first year, wherever I end up, I'm going to have enough money from this bull run to at least fund myself for 12 months in a cheaper country like Southeast Asia. Learn the trading system that I'm currently getting schooled on. And then, just sort of have adventures. And so that's why I'm sort of created this channel. That's a little bit about me and where I'm coming from. So, I just wanted to create a YouTube channel so I can document this. I'm not really sort of telling too many people. I'm making it like friends-wise and stuff, or family-wise and stuff. I'm just doing it. So if you want to follow me along, you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll make videos about updates and how I'm going about the process, what I'm thinking, and sort of take you on the adventure with me. So so today I'm in the beautiful Royal National Park, just out of Sydney. So I literally live like a 15-minute drive from here. I've hiked in, so about 6 kilometres so far into the Nasho, and now I've got to hike back another 6 k's. But that's fine. I just wanted to come in here today, the 1st of Jan, and this is my start. Also too, there's a few other things that I will do on this channel. I'm literally overweight quite a bit. Like, I weighed myself the other day and I was 112 kilos. I've never been that heavy before. I sort of guess I went through, after the COVID thing, like, I didn't fall for it. Like, I didn't go and I didn't do any of the shit that they told me to do, basically. I didn't get the jab. I didn't fucking... I've had lots of friends that had it. I just had a friend pass away the other day of some turbo cancer. And I didn't do any of that shit, And I was lucky at the time, my partner, she didn't go along with it either. So it was really good, we could sort of go along with it. But I've had mates, one of my good mates, he lost his wife and kids, lost his job. He was a copper. And, because he didn't want to take the jab. So I just, So basically, I'm, it's just going to be about what's happening in my life and leaving this fucking system and going to something better, And as I'm a musician, I'm sure I'll be chucking in music stuff, and I want to be losing this weight. So like I said, I was 112 kilos. I actually just did a 4-day water fast. Didn't eat anything right up till New Year's Eve, and then chowed down last night on New Year's Eve. So last night was my first meal in like 4 days. But, I dropped down to, I think it was 107. I weighed myself this morning, so I lost a few kilos already. But my target weight now is about, between 85 and 80 kilos, which is generally where I sit quite well. But I think through the COVID period was quite a dark time for me. Not so much about, there's a disease, boogeyman. It was more like how fucking people just are so asleep. I couldn't believe the conversations I had with people. Like, I was like, how can you not see what the fuck is going on here? Like, how can you not see what's right in front of your face? Like, do you believe this? Like, the virus doesn't get you when you go to a restaurant if you're sitting down, but if you're standing up, it gets you. It was just crazy shit going on here in Australia. Just unbelievable. With these mask mandates and stuff, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. Don't go outside in places like this, because the virus will come and get you. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? you know, and people were just like scared shitless, you know, they were believing everything they were told. And now it's all starting to come undone a bit, isn't it? You know, like you can sort of see things are starting to unravel a touch. Anyway, I've been banging on for far too long. And I know this is very unorganised. I'm sure once I get a little bit more momentum with this, I'll get a little bit more organised about how I do these videos. But yeah, look, I just wanted to introduce myself, and this will be the only video really where I'm going to bang on about all this stuff about me. I'll try and have a bit more structure in the next one, so this will be the video I'll refer to when someone wants to know who I am. I'll just go and check this one out, and that'll tell you a bit more about my backstory. I'm going to have tons more stories, don't worry. Like I said, I've had a pretty interesting life, travelled to lots of different places, got myself into lots of tricky situations over the years, and I've got an adventurous heart, adventurous spirit, and yeah, so and that's, I'm sure that will come through on this channel, whoever follows. Anyway, Happy New Year's, guys, and yeah, if you want, follow along, subscribe, like this video, all that jazz, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao. Another cool cave. So back up there, there's no trail where I am. I'm just basically following a little stream up. So this is where I'm sort of currently walking along those rocks. So that's where I just filmed that video where I was just talking to you. But this is sort of trying to find my way through. It took me a while to get up here. Shoes off, shoes on, walking through water, trying to find a path. You can see here, flood zones, you know, so see how when we get a lot of rain, the water comes through here so quickly, so strong, that it just pushes all these trees down in this general direction, because that's the way the water's flowing out to the ocean. So yeah, look, I'm going to make these videos are going to keep me motivated. You know, I'm going to try and come out hiking quite a bit, and I'll do little tidbits about my life and stuff like that, and interesting things that I find about this, how I'm going to get out of this system. So yeah, this one's just going to be rough. It's going to take me a while to find my way to work out some sort of format for these things. So, you know, sorry for the all over the shop type mentality, but if you're still with me and watching, you know, good on you. Maybe this might be a thing. And I just walked through a huge spider web before. I was like, shit myself, because we've got some pretty deadly spiders out here in the bush in Australia. And dropped my bag, basically took all my clothes off, make sure he wasn't on me. I was okay. Anyway, this is where I'm at. Pretty slippery yet, but sometimes better do this and hike through that scrub, because you don't know if there's a big brown snake sitting there waiting to bite you on the ankles. I don't feel like dying on the first day of 2025. Much safer option. There's no trail, so you're just basically blazing through. At least if there's one in the water, I'll be able to see it. This is the type of scrub I'm talking about. I'm almost back to where I need to get to. I don't know what's hiding in these scrub. Alright, finding the trail. good leach check once I'm back at the truck. Alright, back on the trail. Now, got about a 6k hike, maybe more. Alright, that's it folks, back in the car. 12.1 kilometres, New Year's Day hike. And, I'm stuffed, it's bloody hot out there. So yeah, if you like these videos, give us a subscribe, give it a like, and I'll be making plenty more in the weeks, months, years to come. Thanks, bye.